the main reason why I feel like God may either be restricting me or possibly calling me to singleness is constant rejection. Unfortunately, we live in a world with professing Christians who have superficial standards. Like, I've tried everything. Like, they want men who make 6 figures, have the six pack, and what's the other thing? 6 feet. 666. They want the 666 in men, which is not necessary. I know we're in an imperfect world, but I don't expect perfection from anyone. And whenever I would try pursuing someone, I would always encounter some obstacles. Either someone would get in my way, or someone trying to compete with me to get this woman, even though it doesn't seem that way at times, but it may not appear that way, but it feels like that to me. Like, there was someone I'll mention later who I went to get coffee with, and I saw someone asking for her Instagram, and I just thought that was another barrier, but we're on that a little later. And
yeah. Hey, let me pause you 1 second, Jabri. Let me ask you a question here. So,
sure.
Basically all the things you're saying right now are kind of in relation to, correct me if I'm wrong, your big question is, could you be called to singleness? And now what you're doing is you're kind of explaining why you feel you might be called to singleness. Is that what these details are trying to explain?
Yeah.
Okay. So you said you might be called to singleness, and you feel like one reason is you keep getting rejected by women. Another reason,
a lot of these barriers.
So one of those barriers is rejection, right? Another barrier is the women seem to have unrealistic expectations, such as, the 666 qualities that you've heard about. And you're kind of explaining bad experiences you've had with individual women. Is that kind of what you're saying right now?
Yeah, I feel like those could be reasons.
So here's what I'm thinking as far as what like you're sharing with me compared to what the Bible says in regards to being called to singleness. So the things that you described are very personal issues that would make you not want to go into marriage, which I completely understand, and I validate that it would make you feel a certain type of way about relationships. But the reasons that you've described aren't actually biblical indicators that you would be called to singleness. So,
okay.
Yeah, when you look at, I think the key passage is 1 Corinthians chapter 7. When you want to know if someone has the call to singleness or marriage, one of the overriding themes of that passage is what will better help you serve the Lord. So if you feel you could better serve the Lord in singleness, you may be called to singleness. If you feel better called to serve the Lord with a partner, then you would be called to marriage. And Paul says that most people, due to their sexual desires, should be married. And so there are going to be more people with the calling to pursue marriage versus with the calling to pursue singleness. Now, just to be clear, this is not a guarantee that God will let everyone get married who has the gifting of marriage, or everyone will be single and never get married. They could make that choice. What I'm saying is that these are the things that they should pursue. You should intentionally try to be married if you have these certain signs, or you should intentionally try not to get married if you have these other signs. And so I think deep down, it sounds, if I'm just reading between the lines, I'm just going to give you my honest take. It sounds like you want to be married. It sounds like you probably are called to marriage as far as, as the way you're wired. But you have a lot of baggage / immaturity, and it's confusing you. And so I think you just have to simplify your life and just focus on yourself for a while and in your own personal development. And then the future, as far as relationships, will become a lot clearer.